Hey everyone, Matt Savage here with a mobility routine you can do each and every day. I recommend doing this in the morning, helps get your body loose, your joints active, and gets you moving better throughout the whole day. We're going to run from head to toe, go through all of our major joints and areas of the body. And please note that if you have any pain or experience any pain at any point in this, you should contact a medical professional to get those looked at. You might feel some pressure in your joints or pressure in some muscles, that's okay, but we don't want to feel any pain. If it's pain, you want to stop right away and seek some help from a medical professional. This routine will take about 15 minutes if you go from start to finish. We're going to cut a little shorter with some reps so the video doesn't last that long. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at any time. Hopefully this helps your everyday life and also helps you with your golf game as well. So we're going to start with our head. We're going to start with some neck rolls. So very straightforward. We're going to go through this nice and slow. And we're going to take our head in circles. So we normally will do 10 of these. So we're going to go to one direction. We're going all the way around to the very end range of motion. So we'll do 10 of those in one direction. Very important here that you keep a good posture. We don't want to be slouched over. It won't allow our neck to move properly. So make sure that you have good posture here. And we're going to go in the other direction. So 10 one way and 10 the other way. Now you may hear some cracking or something. As long as there's no pain at this, you can continue forward. If it's painful, if you can only move your neck a certain way, you're going to stop right away and only do what's best for you. The next is the neck stretch. So we're going to tilt our head to the side. Important that we keep facing forward and just tilt our head. We don't want to be doing this. Tilt your head to the side. You're going to feel a stretch in the neck here. And you can hold this for 30 seconds. After we've held this for 30 seconds, we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Again, you'll feel a stretch to the neck here. If you're comfortable with this stretch and you want to move it a little further, I recommend sticking the hands out and you'll feel a little stretch all the way from your neck down into your forearms. So this is kind of the next level. If you're comfortable with just having your head tilted to the side, this will give you a little bit more stretch. So again, we're going to do 30 seconds each side, and we're going to do that twice. Next, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So we're going to lift our shoulders up, back, and down. And you're going to picture your shoulders going in a complete circular motion. Really important here is we're going to feel this all the way through our shoulder blades in the back of our body. So if I turn here, you can see my shoulder blades moving up and down. So we're going to go 10 backwards, and then we're going to go 10 forwards. All right. After that, we're going to stick our arms out at 90 degrees, and we're going to lift our arms straight up overhead, and then we're going to slide them back down. So you bring your elbows down into your body. What we're doing here is working on our shoulder mobility again, and I'm going to be pulling my shoulder blades back into my back as I come down. So we want to keep our elbows back as far as we can and pull your shoulder blades down. You should feel your shoulder blades going up and down across your back. So we'll see what that looks like on the back. So we're going to do 10 of these. And keep in mind, you may not have the extension all the way back, but this may be as far as you can go. That's okay. The main thing is that we want to be feeling our shoulder blades moving up and down across our back. From this point, we're going to move into more work with those shoulder blades. We're going to actually reach out in front of us, and you're going to feel a stretch along the back of your shoulder. And then we're going to reach behind us and pull our shoulder blades together. A couple different ways you can do this. We can reach out this way. You can simply pull your shoulder blades together, pinch them together in the back, or if you want, you can clasp your hands together and pull them together this way. Whatever's more comfortable for you and whatever gets you more of the stretch. You're going to feel that all through your back, and this way you're going to feel some through your chest as well. So the idea here is to pinch the shoulder blades together in the back. We're now going to move on to continue through the upper body and work on shoulder mobility. So we're going to do arm circles here. I want you to go nice and slow with this, and remember we're going through the full end range of motion. We're going to go up, I like to turn my hand to get all that extension. One thing that we want to do here is we're only working for ourselves. So we only want to go to our maximum abilities. There's no need to get up here and to twist our body to try and keep that arm behind us. Keep your body still, keep your core tight, and we're just going to work on that mobility in the shoulder joint. We're going to go 10 backwards, and then we're going to go 10 forwards, and we're going to do this with each arm. So for myself, I have a little bit less mobility on the left side here, but I'm not too worried about where my arm goes. I'm just feeling that tightness, feeling that pressure that I'm at the end range of motion. I'm not trying to work it back here so that it's even with my right side. I'm staying square and just going to where I can. I'm going to go forwards and do the same thing. So now that we've got our shoulders loosened up, that's 10 each side in each direction. We're going to continue with this upper body mobility. We're going to do what I call the swim move. So we're going to start with our hands facing each other. They're then going to come up and around. So sorry, back of our hands facing each other. We're going to rotate the palms facing each other and then around. So you're going to start slow with this until you can master the movement. Palms away, palms together, palms away. And then we can get a little quicker with this. And the idea here is to move all the muscles and joints through your arms, all in one motion. And we like to do 10 of these. And you might hear some sounds, feel some muscles a little differently than normal. As long as there's no pain involved, you can continue forward. So we're going to continue down the arms. At this point, I like to shake my hands out, give myself a little bit of loosening up, and then we're just going to have our hands straight out and open and close our fingers. We're going to do 10 of these. Then with the hands straight forward, we're going to go palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. We can do 10 of these. And then like you're shaking someone's hand, you're going to have your hands out front, and you're going to go up and down, and up and down. 10 of these as well. And then we're going to keep our hands out and do some circles. Go 10 inside, and then 10 the opposite way. Now we can shake that out again. I'm going to get you to make fists. And we're going to do the same circles. We're going to go nice and slow. People's forearms and wrists tend to get a little tighter when we make a fist, so you're going to go nice and slow, and you're going to go through that whole range of motion with your wrist. So we're going to do 10 of these, then the other way for 10 more. Now to really dial this in and get it even more precise, as you do this, you may see your forearm rotates to help out that movement. We're going to hold our forearm and we're going to lock this movement in. So we're going to hold the forearm so it doesn't move and it's only the wrist moving. I'm going to go 5 one direction and then 5 rotations the other direction. We're going to do this with both arms. Take this nice and slow. You might feel some clicking. Again, if it's not painful, you shouldn't have any issues, but you can always ask your medical professional if you're unsure. At this point, we've got our shoulders, the start of our spine all loosened up. We're going to continue down. We've got our fingers. So we're going to push our hands together and then push the palms away. Push your hands together, push the palms away. You should feel some stretch through the fingers and into the palm. So this is working on our finger and hand mobility here. Another way to do this is to push your hands straight up against the wall. Lean forward with some pressure on your hands, and you can push your palms away and keep your fingers on the wall. Some people prefer that. They feel sometimes this doesn't give them enough of a stretch, so you can push with that pressure on the wall. You can even lean pretty aggressively and lean forward against the wall, and that's going to give you some more resistance and give you more of a stretch through the fingers, the hands, and all the way up into the forearms. So we've got our arms, our neck all loosened up. We're going to continue down. We're going to work on the spine. So I've just got a pole here. You could use a golf club, you could use a broomstick, whatever you have handy. I'm going to have this straight over my head. I'm going to have a nice straight spine. You can see my spine is straight up and down. I'm going to tilt to the side and up, other side and up. And I'm going to do 10 of these on each side. So this is just getting our spine bending. So we see a lot of side bend in the golf swing. We need our spine to be able to move that way each and every day. We're going to continue with this above our head. And we're going to continue to work on our spine, our upper spine, T-spine. So we're going to tilt back, kind of arch the back, and then we're going to tilt forward and round the back. So we're going to tilt back and then round the back. So to see it from the side, see I arch my back and then I'm going to round the top half of my back. So we're going to do 10 of these, and again, that's getting the whole spine all warmed up so we can move throughout the entire day, or if we're heading to the golf course, help to reduce some potential injury. We're going to continue with this in front of us, and we're going to start to rotate. This isn't a contest to see how far you can go. This is just for you to loosen up and get to your end range of motion. You can allow your lower body to turn here. If you're feeling comfortable, you can speed up a little bit. But again, this isn't a competition. This is just to loosen up whatever you feel comfortable that you need to do to warm up your spine. So 10 rotations each side. And now we're going to get a little more complex with the spine warm up. And I'm going to actually stand into my 5-iron posture here and cross my arms. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on my spine, the lower half of my spine. So I'm going to arch my back and then tuck my pelvis under. So I'm going to arch my back and tuck my pelvis under. I'm going to show you from the side so you can see. So I'm going to arch my back. So you can see this movement. Pelvis under, pelvis back, pelvis under, pelvis back. This move might be pretty tricky for you. It is tricky for a lot of people. Something that may help is grabbing a device or a tool, helps stabilize yourself, and then you can tuck under and tuck back. Under and back. I like to do 10 of those each day. That gets our lumbar spine moving properly, gets us loosened up. We're going to get back in that same position. So now I'm in my 5-iron posture. I'm going to cross my arms on my shoulders, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock my hips in, keep them still, and I'm going to rotate just my upper body. So this is working on our T-spine rotation in golf posture, which we do a lot of in the golf swing, as you know. So rotate from one side to the other, keeping our hips as still as possible. This might be very tricky for you, might not be something you can do. If not, don't worry, we're going to discuss that in another video. So 10 of these, one side to the other, and now we're going to stand up, step away, and we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to stay in the same position, 5-iron posture, arms crossed, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my upper body still, and I'm going to rotate my lower body. So this is what we call disassociation. If we can't disassociate our lower body from our upper body, we're going to have a lot of trouble in the golf swing. I'm going to get into this in another video and give you more detail on how we can help if you can't do that quite yet. So we're going to do 10 of those rotations with the lower body, left side, right side, 10 each, and then we're going to move forward. So now our spine from our pelvis all the way up is loose, our upper extremities are loose, our neck is loose. We're going to continue forward, moving down the body. So the next thing we want to do is our hips. As we all know, our hips are super important for golf swing and our daily life. A lot of us sit too much in general, and we get very tight in the hips. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use this pole I've got here just for balance. So I'm going to hold that, lean some of my weight on here, and then I'm going to lift my left leg up. I'm going to go through this whole range of motion in my hips. So I'm going to come up. It almost feels like you're stepping over something. What we want to avoid is too much of this tilting to try and get our leg out. So try and keep your core as tight as possible and just run through as much motion as you've got. You might be just in this range here, that's fine, but go to the point of As long as there's no pain, I want you to go as high as possible. Done 10 of those, then we're going to go the opposite way. This is going to feel like you're almost stepping over something. So we're going to do left side and right side. You might find that one side you have more mobility on, one side you have to kind of fight to stay stable. And then we're going to go 10 the other side, the other direction as well. From here, we're going to do a stretch and a hold, and this is going to put us at our end range of motion. We're going to hold it, and you're going to feel a good stretch all the way through your body. So first, we're going to work on I'm going to do on my left side here. I'm going to pull my knee into my chest. So I'm going to go as high as I can here. This is doing two things. I'm working on my balance. I'm also getting a good stretch all the way through my low back, through my glute. As I said, many of us sit too much. This really helps after you've been sitting all day. This really helps alleviate some back pain that I tend to get. So we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. And then we're going to stretch the other side of that muscle. And we're going to do this. So grab your ankle, pull on your foot. We'd like to have our knees side by side. You don't want to be out here. You don't want to be too far back like this. Try and keep your core tight. It's going to help with your balance as well. And if you get to this point and this stretch isn't doing enough for you, what you really want to do here is now you're going to squeeze your glute on this side, and you're going to feel that tightness come in through here in your hip flexor. So I'm going to squeeze this. I'm going to hold this for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to come back. This here for 30 seconds again, and then through for 30 seconds. So we've done that twice on that leg, and then we're going to do the other side. Right side, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. You might find one leg you have better balance on. One leg gets really shaky, but this is going to help. The more you do this, your balance is going to improve. And you might need to use something when you do this. So you might need to hold this for your balance. I might not be stable enough here that I can't squeeze this glute and get that tightness, but the more you work on this, the easier it's going to get. So twice on each leg, 30 seconds there. Now we're feeling nice and loose throughout our whole body, all the way to our knees basically. The last move we're going to do is ankle circles. So foot's going to be straight out in front of you. We're just going to rotate clockwise for 10 and counterclockwise for 10. So again, do this nice and slow so you can really feel you're going all the way through your whole range of motion with each ankle. It's not a prize to see how fast you can go or see how far around you get. But we want to do that 10 times, 10 each direction. And now we're loose all the way from our toes to our head. We're ready to play golf. We're ready to move around. You'll notice if you do this in the morning, it's just going to make your daily routines that much easier. You feel a lot better. Just everything that you go through, you're going to feel loose and going to be able to move better.